Mortis.
What's good, everybody? It's X Mortis, and welcome to episode 15 of A Beggar's Journey. As always, I'm very happy to have you guys tuning in to support me and the series. And thanks to you guys, we have officially made it to 17k subscribers. I really can't thank you guys enough for everything you've given me and all the great people who came to my channel just because you guys enjoyed this series. I really do appreciate it. And with that being said, I also want to draw attention to the fact that I do have a second channel I would love for you guys to go subscribe to for more delayed back content. And just in case if anything happens to this one, you should be aware that I do have a backup for that kind of situation. And one last thing before beginning, I wanted to apologize for taking such a long time to get this video out. You know, I'm not even going to try to front that I haven't uploaded a damn thing in 3 months. But now that I seem to have everything sorted out, I should be able to put out way more content in the future. So without wasting any more of your time, let's dive back into the lore of DarkSydePhil. So we went over a lot in the last episode of A Beggar's Journey, and thanks to my neglectfulness, I forgot to mention a couple things that went on during the time of the Vest Streak Saga, and it's all pretty much WWE Champions related. In late April of 2020, DSP was kicked out of his faction, and here's a message that was left by one of the leaders of his guild. Well, I guess our time has come to an end. DSP has left our faction. He was confronted about it, still denied it was him, and was told either leave or be kicked out. He left. DSP had also went through 2 name changes on his WWE Champions account during the Vest Streak's run. It's a pretty minor thing, but I figured it's important enough to mention as the Champions Saga continues to develop. Plus his reaction when he was called out was pretty hilarious.
About that was a tough matchup. Let's see here. Call me Brazy to be $1.37. What's up, Phil? What does the gun show mean? I don't know. What are you talking about? What does the gun show mean? In reference to me, I have no idea. A gun show is a place where they publicly sell guns. A lot of people in the United States have an issue with that because they feel that those could be like they could bypass the background check laws that are in effect to make sure that the wrong people don't get guns. And right now, a lot of people think that gun shows in the United States are very, very, not unlawful, but basically like a way for criminals and people who have checkered past to get around that kind of stuff. So they have a lot of issues with that. There's basically a big controversial thing in politics right now about gun shows in the United States. A silly one to me $1 says, great gameplay. I consider this the newest day. It's like one newest day. That's not a word. I've gone down from the rafters. Okay. I consider this the newest day and I've gone down from the rafters. What? Okay. Thanks for the $1 tip. I have no fucking clue what you just said. Okay then. Just another weird message. I have no clue. I'm just gonna say, okay, nod. Okay, thanks for the $1. This last week, a lot of stuff got screwed up because I got sick. I got, for the second time this year, a double ear infection. That really screwed me up to the point where I couldn't work for 2 days. In the midst of new release hype and mayhem, everyone had been anticipating seeing me play Marvel's Avengers and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 Collection over the course of the weekend. And instead, I was sick and I wasn't able to play games. And it really threw a monkey wrench into everything going on. It did. It screwed everything up. It screwed up my schedule. It screwed up my viewership. It screwed up my momentum. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, this year has been an unprecedented, very positive year for me because of the ridiculousness and the complete chance that I would happen upon something on my streams, per your suggestions, that would lead to almost 6 straight months of overwhelming success, the Vest Streak. That is right. And in fact, if you look at the top of the screen, ladies and gentlemen, you'll notice that it says Vest Streak of 0. I wanted to put that up there, even though technically when the streak is 0, it means there's no streak, and that doesn't even need to be on the leaderboard. I wanted to put that up there to emphasize. All right, to show 100%, yes, the Vest Streak ended after almost 6 months, okay? Every stream I was hitting the tips goal. Every stream you guys picked a silly vest for me to put on in celebration. and it's over. All right, the streak is over. And I said during the course of the streak, I knew it could end any day, any particular day, for any particular reason. A lot of people took it for granted, I feel, because they were always like, oh, no, it's going to go on forever, Phil. Haven't you seen it? Just seriously, it's just going to go on forever. And I never believed that. Every day I thought this could be the day, this could be the end. And I thanked you guys so many times over the last 6 months for the overwhelming amount of support that you guys gave me. So all of this was an amazing positive, okay? All for the fact that I put on a silly vest and celebrate with you guys when we hit the tips goal every day, okay? Again, not my idea. You guys came up with this idea, and it somehow organically grew to the point where it was a staple of my streams. It became a part of the culture of my streams, right? Think about it. The me wearing a vest, there's emotes of it, there's artwork of it, there's animations of it. It became an integral part of how my streams operated, right? Right? True. For 6 months, and it became this thing. You know, it became a symbol of success, a symbol of me being the underdog who people want to see succeed, a way to stick it to the people who hate me and hate on me on a daily basis, saying, well, fuck you, doesn't matter what you do to Phil, what you try to do to him, he's still successful, look at this, we support him, right? But amidst all the success, I always knew that it had to end. I knew it. I just didn't know when it was going to happen. I thought it was going to happen way sooner than it did, and I think the reason that it got so blown up is because it lasted as long as it did, and people wanted to see it continue, okay?
So in my previous episode, we went over the rise and the pitiful fall that was the Vest Streak Saga, and a couple of other things that were happening in the middle of its run. It was a story of a man who found a cash cow and did his absolute best to milk that bitch for all it's worth. It's where we saw Phil at its worst. The toxicity, the guilt tripping, the stalling. He was at his prime at eBegging around this point in time. Even when we had concrete evidence that the Vest Streak ended at the number 73, he denied it and kept the money train going for as long as he could, knowing that his fans wasn't gonna question a damn thing about it. And even when it finally did come to an end, he was right on Twitter the same night already trying to come up with ways to replace the vest with something else, or just putting the streak back at 0 to start it all over again. Tevin actually made a really great point in his video going over Phil's tweet the night the Vest Streak ended.
So he's done with the stream. The tears have probably not even finished drying at this point. And we have this very, very somber, sad string of tweets about the fucking vest. He's actually, LSB said this, is actually more sad about this being over with than he was with anything else that's ever happened. Like the Panda Lee thing.
It was clear to see just how desperate Phil was getting as he was throwing around idea after idea, hoping to land on something that would grant him as much revenue as the Vest Streak did. So after Phil's day off, he came on screen to tell his fans that he made a very big change that was going to impact his streams going forward. And what was this big step Phil was taking? What new and innovative thing could he possibly come up with that would change his streams in such a positive way? Well, he cleaned his office. And that's pretty much it.
So anyway, I got to work. I could have sat around and moped yesterday on my day off. You know, yesterday was my day off from streaming, and I could have moped about the end of the stream and woe is me. But instead, I got right to work. Okay? And I am going to give massive credit to my wife, Kat, because after the streak ended, she sat down with me and she said, let's do some stuff. All right? And yesterday, I had a normal day off where normally I would be out and about having fun and doing fun stuff. Instead, I busted my ass preparing for today. All right? So allow me to explain what I was up to yesterday, because I think you're going to like what you hear. First of all, I have begun a regimen of cleaning in my office, all right? Once a week, when I come back from my break, which is usually going to be a Tuesday, some weeks it may be a different day, but usually a Tuesday. Once a week, when I come back from my break, I am going to decontaminate this office and sterilize it. I have bought antibacterial wipes, and I'm going to sterilize everything, including all the surfaces I touch. Not just the headphones that obviously gave me the ear infections, okay? But all my gaming controllers, the keyboard that I use to update the leaderboard, my laptop, my mice, the monitors, any other like controllers, for example, my air conditioner. I'm going to decontaminate everything once a week. right? Something that I should have been doing all along and did not. This should hopefully ensure that I am not going to get sick any further. And it's my pledge to you guys that hopefully I do everything I can here at home to stay from getting sick.
The only noticeable change he made was getting rid of that old dingy ass love seat and replacing it with a chair.
So this is the new setup. No love seat anymore. It's gone, okay? I am now sitting in the brown chair, and what I can do is show it to you. Let me get up, because I can actually do this now. Watch this. I can stand up and show you. It's the brown chair, the rotating chair from back in Connecticut. I used to call this the captain's chair, okay? I used to call this the captain's chair, okay? Now, this chair rotates. Look at this. And I have space to, like, stretch my freaking legs. Well, take a look at this. Oh, I'm going to play a game, okay? So I grab my PlayStation controller, which, by the way, I have a new setup now around me. To my right, I actually have all of the things that I use when I stream, including my headphones, the keyboard to update the leaderboards, the Gunner glasses, and I have room here for my controller and everything right next to me. I'm going to play a game. Let's play some Avengers. Oh my god, I'm facing my television. I'm actually going to play games facing my television from now on. What a revolutionary concept, huh? Something that I probably should have done on day fucking 1, right? And now I can do this. I know, it's like elementary stuff, but it's stuff that I couldn't do because of that fucking love seat, right? So now, I'm actually going to be able to do this. Play and actually face the games and probably have more attention to them. All I got to do is look like this to the side, and I can see you guys over here. All right? It's good stuff. Now, immediately, of course, people are saying, what happened to your wall? This is what happened to my wall, my love seat. As I told you guys, my stupid love seat was way too big for this office. And it would hit the wall and damage it. These are holes. These are actual holes in my freaking wall, drywall from the love seat. So eventually, obviously, I'm going to have to try to either paint over that or repair it or whatever. It's not that big of a deal. Now, we've talked already about improvements to the streams later this year and saying that I would love to get a green screen. Well, guess what? There's tons of fucking room back here. Look at all the fucking room. I could do, I could do anything I want. I could dance back here. I could do fucking handstands over here. There's room in my office. This is what I always wanted, is to have an office where I could move around and do shit. Every other streamer on the planet isn't confined to a small corner of their office because it's crammed, right? I can actually do this now. I can actually have a green screen behind me. I could do other stuff. Like my wife was saying, Halloween's coming up right around the corner, and we have nice decorations and stuff behind me. Hell, I can find stuff to stand on the floor and stuff behind me. There's room for it now, which I never had before, okay?
After showing off all the stunning changes DSP made to his so-called office, he finally brought up the topic of the Vest Streak, and what new ideas could his fans come up with. But in all fairness, he actually did throw in a few ideas of his own. Now, they weren't exactly good ideas, they were actually pretty fucking stupid. And this stream was remembered so well for all the crazy shit DSP wanted his fans to pay him for.
What are we going to do on the streams moving forward? In regards to rewards for reaching goals and contribution levels. You know, there were different options. I had a poll that I posted up Monday night, and the poll had 4 options. All right, it was just reset the streak and start from 0. All right, start a completely new kind of streak that has nothing whatsoever to do with the vests. Okay. Make a new streak, or try to do a new streak, or reset, you know, do new things based off of not only the existing Vest Streak, but other things to tweak it, basically. Make it better. Or become a plumber. Now, overwhelmingly, people want me to become a plumber. Alright? And I looked into it, I researched it. Sadly, I just don't have the ass for it. You need to have a really pristine plumber's crack to become a plumber. I don't have the ass for it. I'm not going to qualify. So, sadly, being a plumber is off the table, even though that's what the vast majority of people want me to do. So the other options, I weighed and balanced them all. All right. And looking at the options here, number one, the Vest Streak was an oddity. The Vest Streak was a thing that I never expected to happen. And I honestly don't think, and I could be wrong here because I was wrong about the Vest Streak. I thought that Vest Streak was going to end right away, and that thing lasted almost 6 months, right? I don't think I'm ever going to be able to replicate the Vest Streak again. I don't think that you're going to see that level of support and contributions just to do the same thing again. You know what I'm saying? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have the Gunner glasses be a halfway reward. What does that mean? It means that if we get halfway to the tip skull, $50, then the Gunner glasses come out. Okay? Does it affect anything? No. Does it make the stream any better? No. But at least it's a visual representation of saying, well, we're halfway there. Thanks, guys, for the support. If we hit the actual tip skull, all right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all of you $1 million personally over the internet. You're all going to become millionaires overnight. Yeah, right. Obviously not. If we hit the tip skull, we're just going to do what we were doing. I'm going to put on a vest. You guys are going to have a choice between my vests, all right? And I'm trying to remember the last vest I wore. I believe it was the red vest, right? I think it was the red vest because the other vests were not eligible. Yeah. So that would mean today, if we hit a $100 tip skull on this stream, you guys get to choose between the vest that I did not wear last, so it would be every vest eligible except the red vest. So that's just going to stay the same that it was, all right? Now, what I would like to do is have better rewards for higher tiered tips being hit. Now, my wife had a crazy suggestion. All right? I know people are immediately gonna jump on this, but because it's fucking stupid and embarrassing. But my wife said, if you hit a tier 2 tip skull, here's what you should do. You guys ready for this? This is her 100%. This was her suggestion. All right, you ready? Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, so hold on. Whoa. That was 4. Oh god. All right, that was 4. That was only 4 spins. Okay? And I'm dizzy. I'm like, oh my god, I'm rotating. That was only 4, and I'm spinning already. Okay? So, if we hit like a tier 2 tip skull, basically I like spin in place like 10 times and get incredibly dizzy, and then I try to play the game. That was her suggestion. She says, call it the spin streak. I was like, oh my god, the spin streak. So imagine that I spin 10 times, and then I try to pick up the controller and play the game, right? I don't even know if I'm going to be able to sit in this chair. I might roll onto the floor. I don't know what's going to happen, all right? But that's what she suggested, start the spin streak. So the tier 1 tip skull would be the vest as always, and the new tier 2 tip skull would be the spin streak, okay? Now, we can have other goals as well. The jersey can be something in between there if you guys want, all right? But I'm going to tell you right now, one thing I'm not going to do is put on hats and shit.
And it just gets worse. Because a bit after this stream, DSP got the bright idea to charge people to make them eat zombie Skittles.
We're doing something special today. I talked about it on pre-stream, so I'm not going to go into massive detail about it. Zombie Skittles. 5 new flavors of Skittles and also a rotting zombie flavor. Randomly inserted. So I have to eat some Skittles. What I said I would do is every $20 of tips that we raised during this stream while it was live here, I'd eat three Skittles. So we just raised $50, so that's 6 Skittles I have to eat here. Skittle number 1, so it's purple. This is supposed to be chilling black cherry. I like black cherry. I'm afraid to eat this. It's the first time ever in my life I'm afraid to eat a piece of candy. All right, I'm just going to fucking do it. I'm just going to jump right in. Oh! 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 Ah! Oh! Oh, oh, yuck. Oh, it was the zombie. Oh.
And not only is it pretty crazy that actual people were paying a grown-ass man to spin in his chair like a dumbass and eat candy on stream, but just like the Vest Streak, he couldn't even stay committed to those easy-ass goals he set for himself, and basically scammed his viewers.
Always hot tea cheers if you finish all your zombie Skittles. Dude, I don't even think I can eat anymore. Like, I already got 2 disgusting zombie Skittles, and my stomach doesn't feel good. It actually does. My stomach feels bad. I had some trail mix during the break, and my stomach's feeling queasy. So I don't think that I should eat any fucking zombie Skittles. I'm gonna probably get sick. I'm leaking down these people. That's bad. Bacon Bits Play, shut the fuck up before I ban you. How about that? You're being a fucking asshole. That's right, no one fucking stupid Skittles thing. If I feel better later, I'll have more Skittles, but I ate 9 of them, and after having 2 of the rotten egg ones, my stomach was legitimately feeling awful. So what I'm gonna do is after Street Fighter 5, I'm gonna take a real break to eat dinner. I'll eat the dinner that my wife made. I can smell it. Hopefully the food will settle in my stomach. I'll feel better, and maybe later tonight. Keep in mind, I'm still streaming a long time today. Maybe later tonight I'll eat some more of the Skittles, but I'm not gonna do it and get sick and then not want to be fucking streaming for the rest of the day. You know.
All in all, this stream just showed how desperate DSP was to get another gimmick going that could replace the Vest Streak, and it showed just how bad DSP was at coming up with ideas by himself. Just a little bit after this stream, it was heard that Mid-First Bank was coming down under foreclosure of DSP's old condo. This was talked about in the detractor community and of course on the Kiwi Farms forum. And as usual, it didn't take long for all of this to get back to Phil, and he went on a massive toxic rant about his detractors for celebrating the fact that Mid-First Bank was finally taking a step forward to sue DSP.
So, you guys know the deal with that. You know how it is with me. It sucks that this shit happens, but I've got these crazy-ass stalkers who try to fuck with me constantly. So why am I bringing this up today? Because they posted publicly court documents again of something that's going on behind the scenes that has absolutely nothing to do with my streams or anything. And in reality, it's good news, but these people are so fucking dumb. They're so brain-dead stupid, they're actually trying to say it's something bad. All right, so allow me to explain very briefly. As you guys remember, I used to live in Connecticut. As you guys know, I used to own a home in Connecticut, right? The condo, where I used to always film. You guys saw that a million times in my early days of YouTube, all the way up through 2014. That's where I lived. And you saw so many videos and things made there and everything. Well, as a part of my bankruptcy proceedings, okay, earlier this year, I surrendered that condo to the company that holds the mortgage on it. You know, I didn't really technically own that condo. I was paying a mortgage on it. The bank owned it. And because I couldn't afford the payments anymore, I basically either had to, you know, surrender it, or they were going to forcefully try to sue to get it, you know, into their name. So I willingly let go of that. Okay? I willingly let go of it. It's called a surrender during the bankruptcy proceedings as a part of the bankruptcy. I said, I acknowledge that I can't pay this anymore. There's, you know, I can't maintain this property. I don't live there. I can't pay this anymore. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to give it up to the bank. All right? That's what I did. So don't listen to any of the stupidity of the dunces who are out there literally on a daily basis spinning stuff to claim. I'm sure today or yesterday or whenever they made a bunch of videos about it. Oh my God, the foreclosure saga. Ooh, Phil's life is ending. And it's all bullshit. Just clickbait to get dumb people like you, who you know, people who they think are gullible, to watch their garbage content. It's all trash. It's all trash. Everything they've ever said about the whole thing this year was trash. Because isn't it funny how they made all that shit up? Yeah, I was granted bankruptcy because they made it up. But people, they create these crazy groupthink mentalities. They all think that if they parrot each other and repeat each other's nonsense and farcical shit, that it'll become fact. But it doesn't. It's still fake. All right? So, I didn't want to talk about this today. I didn't. But these people have been talking about it all day in the past day. So, obviously, I'm going to address it just to clear the air. They're all lying idiots. They don't understand anything about bankruptcy. They don't understand anything about foreclosure. They don't understand anything about anything. They're a bunch of fucking know-nothing losers who sit behind their PCs and make drama videos all day. So why the fuck would you think they know a single thing about the law? Of course they don't. They're morons. It's not a convoluted thing. It's just that these idiots don't understand the law and they make shit up to create drama that doesn't exist. So don't listen to their nonsense, all right? And by the way, that's the end of it. That's the end of it, of everything there that I have to talk about it. I'm not going to bring it up again. All right? It's done. It's a done deal. Don't listen to any more nonsense from these dumb fucks. Come to me first. I'll tell you the truth. If it's something that I can legally talk about, I'll tell you the truth of the matter. Why are you going to listen to their dramatic nonsense when they don't know shit? They're just a bunch of fucking know-nothing idiots. Dumb fuck kids on the internet who want to create drama for their own purposes, and they can eat out of my asshole. There you go.
You gotta love this shit, bro. It's for reasons like this that make so many people say that this dumbass nigga is still on level 1. No one would ever consider being $500,000 in debt a victory. No one on this planet would ever look at having to file for bankruptcy and completely destroying their credit as a good thing. It's so obvious to see that he's so desperate for a win against his detractors. His mind will twist being foreclosed on as a victory. It was a miracle that this dude somehow got his bankruptcy granted when he factually lied about everything during the process. But still, the main thing to take away from all of this is that DSP has one of the easiest jobs you can get anywhere, and he still found a way to fuck his financials up. But reflecting back on Phil's early days in the FGC, you could pretty much tell that something like this was just bound to happen. So in late September, just a few days after that stream, DSP brought back the topic of these sudden chargebacks coming to plague him and his PayPal account, and told his audience that now he was going to be suspicious about any random large donation coming in.
Well, I guess it's not a rumor anymore. It was confirmed by GameStop. I didn't even realize that until this morning. You guys just told me that. So, all right. The other thing I want to talk about, guys, obviously, the thing that's been going on this last week, that's the hot topic, all right, is the fact that we've got ridiculous contributions coming into my streams, all right? And obviously it's fucking weird that we've got these big contributions, right, that are coming in, and it is out of the ordinary that I'm getting this amount of large contributions, you know, almost seemingly out of thin air. It's not like, oh, here's a longtime viewer and supporter coming onto my stream and saying, oh, Phil, you know, I really wanted to help you out right now, so here, you know, here's a tip. That's not what's happening. What's happening is we're getting names we've never seen before. We're getting weird accounts, you know, they don't make any sense, and they're coming in and they're tipping giant amounts. You know, yesterday I got a $500 tip. I got $1,200 tip over the weekend. I'm frequently getting like $30 to $50 chunk tips, and they're popping up out of nowhere, seemingly, you know, without any kind of backup or anything, okay? And it's very suspect. I'm not going to lie. It's very suspect, to the point where now whenever I get a big tip, I got to question it. Is this legit or not? I don't know, you know? Now, listen, I'm certainly not saying I'm ungrateful, and I'm certainly not saying it's all fake. What I'm saying is it's very suspect when I'm getting giant, you know, contributions every single stream like this. Every day, people are coming in who I've never heard of and dropping big chunk tips. You see what I'm saying? It's very suspect. In addition to that, what I can tell you from behind the scenes without revealing any information that would put anyone at risk, and I'm not going to dox people and shit like that. That would be really fucked up. Basically, when people tip you on PayPal, there's different ways they can do it. They can either actually log into their accounts, and when they log into their accounts, it basically says that all their information is verified, meaning this is a verified account, you know, and this is an account that is confirmed, from, you know what I mean? Like, oh, there's a bank account linked to it and everything. And that looks way more real than, say, oh, someone just clicked on the link that said quick payment and sent a quick, you know, a quick tip via a credit card. You see what I'm saying? It's two different kinds. From what I'm to understand, the cheering is way more safe, say, than the tipping. Because tips, when someone tips you, they could charge that back up to 4 months. That's nuts. Think about that. Someone tipped me in May, and now they can charge it back today. That's money that obviously is already spent. I didn't leave it sitting in the fucking account for 4 months, right? That's crazy to think that they could do that. The good news is I do win chargebacks. Do I win every single chargeback? No. But I do win a good amount of them. So a lot of these times, these people think they're going to get, I'm going to get them. And then I end up keeping the money, right? But it's frustrating when you lose one, especially when you've provided all the information to PayPal and they just decide against it. It's like, well, wait a minute. What is the criteria by which PayPal determines what is real and what isn't? And I don't understand it. How can I win some cases and lose others when I'm providing exactly the same information? It doesn't seem like they have a consistent, serious way to do this. All right.
And it's kind of funny that now he's having all these issues with winning chargebacks, when in the past, he used to gloat about how he won every single one of them.
Yes, listen to this. Yes, take a sip. Tip me $5, sis. I have $10,000 to give, but only on the condition you tell people about it. Sorry, I forgot that you like to hold those details back. Read this message. I'll take it as an unfulfilled request chargeback. What a fucking idiot. Yet he still tipped me $5. A complete moron. What you may not realize is that you could file as many unfulfilled request chargebacks as you like against me. I still win. I still get to every single one because a tip is a tip. It's not a transaction on PayPal. I've not lost a single one in the 2 years I've streamed like this. You are a moron.
This caused him to go on very stupid rants, claiming that the trolls hate the fact that 2020 was amazing for his streaming career, and called them all criminals for doing these alleged chargebacks, and even started comparing it to swatting.
Everyone knows the support has been outstanding on the streams. Everyone knows that viewership is up. People are enjoying the streams more than ever. People are actually coming, unlike how it used to be where 9 times out of 10 people were coming to just make fun of me. There's actually a legit fan base who like what I do. Instead of just being cynical dickheads, they've actually come in and watched the content and realized I'm not like people say I am. This has been an incredibly big positive turnaround year for me. For the first time in about, I'd say 3 to 4 years, not only are people looking at me in a positive light, but I have an actual feeling of positivity for the future. I'm turning my life around for the better. And they can't fucking stand it. They can't stand that I would have any kind of success. They can't stand that I would have any kind of popularity outside of just being made fun of constantly. So because of that, how can, what do we do to get Phil, right? What can we do? So this is the next thing. Oh, let's constantly commit fraud on a daily basis. With false credit card stuff, right? It's like, what the fuck? Of all the things, right? Internet trolling is one thing. These people are actually now legitimately risking their lives. They could go to jail for extended periods of time doing this. This is major fraud. This isn't like, a minor slap on the wrist. If you're doing this on a daily basis, false credit card charges, if you're buying stolen credit card numbers off the dark web, you could go to jail for a long time. I don't know what they're thinking. Really, I don't know what they're thinking. If anyone ever comes after them, that's a felony. That's a serious crime. You will go to jail for that. That's no slap on the wrist when you do shit like that. But they don't think that there's any risk for something over the internet. Much like these idiots who were at one point, they were swatting everybody, right? They were legit just swatting people left and right on the internet. Oh, that's funny. Oh, yeah, it's real funny until someone died because you're a piece of fucking shit and you think there's no liability for anything.
And during one of these segments, he had the suspicion that it could have been King Tut that was behind all these random chargebacks. In this little pre-stream, DSP revealed some of the information about the whole King Tut situation, stating that Tut actually did win some of the chargebacks that were filed against him, even though he stated that he won every single one of them previously.
I had a fun full day of streaming yesterday. Okay, like lots of fun, and I'm done streaming for the day, and I get a notice from PayPal that I got a ridiculous amount of chargebacks again. This time around for tips from like 4+ months ago. ridiculous. Yeah, these tips came in like in May, and I'm getting chargebacks from multiple tips from fucking May. Like, what is this? Now, I haven't even had a chance, you know, these came late last night. So I haven't even had a chance to look them up or dispute them yet. I get the feeling it's more tips from that same guy who tipped me a bunch over a course of like 8 months. He had tipped me like some crazy amount of money. And then all of a sudden, a few months ago, he charged me back a ton of them. And I disputed them all. And if I remember correctly, I think I ended up, it took like 3 months, like 2 to 3 months or something crazy like that. But I'm almost positive that I won the majority of them. I think there may have been like 1 or 2 that for some odd reason I lost. And this is, again, I talk about it every once in a while. This is the fucked up and weird thing about PayPal. There doesn't seem to be a consistent system that PayPal uses to determine who wins a chargeback. As you guys know, during this summer, we had a situation with a guy who at first seemed like he was a generous party who actually wanted to come in and help me, and ended up being someone who was completely the opposite, okay? Now, I'm going to be honest with you. His name was Tutankhamun, and actually was kind of a godsend. And the reason I say that, even though his whole intention there was to screw me over in the long run, he helped me out at a time when if I didn't have that extra income, I might have been completely screwed over. Reason being, like I said, I didn't have this YouTube money for like 2 months. I had no YouTube income. And because of that, I wouldn't have been able to even just catch up and pay my bills or anything. Like, I would have had no money. So this guy comes in, all of a sudden, he starts mass cheering. He starts mass gifting subs. He starts tipping me big. And it's great, but all the while, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, who is this guy? Who is this guy who out of nowhere would just show up on stream? Never heard of him. He's not revealing if he's a longtime fan or whatever. He just seems like a guy who's just showing up and throwing money around. Who the hell could this guy possibly be? And the whole time, I'm very skeptical that something's going to go wrong, okay? Now, the good news is, after 2 months, Tut revealed himself to be a troll. One day on stream, nothing negative happened. He starts attacking my moderators and arguing with them and stuff like that. They ban him because, you know, he's basically derailing the stream, insulting. He threatened one of them. He's, I'm going to beat you up and stuff like that, like being a moron. And I emailed him after. I'm like, what are you doing? And basically he emailed me back and said, oh, I don't like you, and I'm going to now get all my money back. I'm going to get all my money back from Twitch, and I'm going to dispute all my tips to you. I'm going to get all the money back that I gave you over the last 2 months, you know. And that was it. Like, that he didn't explain himself or nothing. Basically just said, screw you, I'm getting everything back. Then come to find out, he apparently had been talking with other people saying the whole thing was a setup, and that basically this was his intention kind of going along to do this, and that he was trying to get all his money back to screw me over. And I'm sorry, but, you know, it's such a fucked up thing that someone would try to do that. The good news here is that it didn't work at all. It didn't work at all. I kept everything that he had given me. You know, everything was kept. And this guy's a pathological liar. He went ahead to go to the other distractor streams and other streams and say, oh no, oh, I disputed all that, I got all my money back and all that. He's completely full of shit. I kept everything. PayPal wouldn't have let me keep the tips, over $1,200 in tips, if he got the money back too. He's a pathological liar. This is some kid who probably has daddy's credit cards and is just spend. His daddy just lets him spoil the shit out of this kid so he doesn't have to deal with him. And he just goes crazy on the internet fucking throwing money at people. And his whole intention was to fuck me over. And luckily it didn't work, okay?
So which one was it, DSP? Did he get some of his money back, or did you absolutely fucking dominate him? He's been lying for so goddamn long that he seriously cannot keep track of all the bullshit he tells people. Another great moment we got in the same pre-stream was Phil going on another jealous friend about Ninja already being rich, but still accepting to take people's donations.
So, did a 100-bit cheer and says the following. I think it's disingenuous that Ninja has a donation and tips button on his Twitch page, even though he already makes a shit ton of money from ad revenue, subs, sponsorships, and other deals, in addition to his multi-year and multi-million-dollar exclusive deal that he just signed with Twitch TV. It's disgusting. I'm not going to say it's disgusting. I'm definitely going to say it's exploitative of his viewers. Because, yeah, the bottom line is Ninja doesn't need that money at all. He's got a millions of dollar contract to sit on a stream and play video games with people every day. Okay? To give you some perspective, guys, all right? When I first started on YouTube, all right, I did have the ability to donate because I wasn't making any money doing it, okay? Once I started making money in 2011, 2012, 2013, those years I did not accept any kind of like tips, donations, none of that. I told everyone, if you want to contribute, contact me. If you want to donate a game or whatever for me to play on a stream, or excuse me, in a video, because back then I wasn't streaming. But I didn't accept any kind of monetary donations once I started making big money on YouTube. I felt that would be incredibly dishonest, and I knew it wasn't good. I have no behind-the-scenes contract with anyone, no partnerships with anyone, no TV deals, no shows, no exclusivity agreements where I'm getting paid millions of dollars, nothing. Is it disingenuous for Ninja to be asking for tips and donations on a live stream that he's already getting paid millions of dollars to stream? Yes. Just objective fact. Yes. Absolutely. To ask your viewers for more when you're already a millionaire is insanely greedy. That's my opinion. You can disagree, and that's okay if you disagree. But if I can tell you guys right now, all right, if I signed a contract for someone to stream anyway, if I signed a contract to stream on Twitch, if I signed a contract to stream on YouTube, and I was getting paid millions of dollars to do this, I would that moment shut down my PayPal and shut off contributions and donations and say, all you guys need to do is watch. If you feel like cheering or subbing, great. You know, by all means, support the channel if you want. But, you know, I'm not looking for nothing. I'm already a millionaire. You know, that would be enough for me. The moment it happened, I would shut it down. That's me, though. That's me. That's my personal feelings on the morality of the situation, how I would handle it.
This just makes DSP seem jealous at the fact that a successful streamer like Ninja doesn't have to sit on his ass all day and beg around 400 morons to give him money to feed his mobile game addiction. I assure you that if Phil had the income most of these popular streamers have, he would have gone broke within a month. Then he would have had to start back at mission 1 all over again. Maybe if he was much smarter at handling his money, it wasn't such a greedy jackass, he would have had more of the opportunities Ninja was handed to him throughout his career. But of course, this is something Phil's pig brain can't simply comprehend. Now on October 6, 2020, Phil was banned on Twitch for the 4th time in his streaming career for another false DMCA strike. And as usual, he immediately set up an emergency YouTube live stream to talk about the issue. But something was a bit different during this particular stream. Phil didn't really seem angered about the issue as he normally would and should be.
Okay? So, I'm about an hour into the stream, and I'm doing a bonus round, and it's challenging, and I died a bunch of times. Everyone's having a good time. And, as this is happening, all of a sudden I look over at my stream setup, and it says it's still going, but connection is dead. So, my internet's working, but my connection is dead. So then I look over, stream chat's frozen. Uh-oh. Then I go to my Twitch dashboard, refreshing, it's blank. A blank dashboard. No data at all. Which makes me feel, okay, I know what's going on here. Alright, I know exactly what's going on here. This is we're in the midst of another false suspension. Okay? This is another situation, much like what was going on during the summer. Someone's put in a false DMCA claim against me. It's gotta be, because it's the same situation. So, lo and behold, I opened up my emails, okay? And in my email, I got an email from Twitch. You have received a copyright takedown. Okay, let's read it. Let's read through this email together. Dear DarkSydePhil, we received a notification of claimed infringement with respect to your account. Here are the details. The alleged infringing content is my stream. All right. And according to this, 5:19 p.m. UTC. What's that? Like 12:19, so maybe like noonish here, like 12:19 p.m. or something. Copyrighted work is, now here's where this is funny. Are you ready? The copyrighted work in question. The newest beta version of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. What? I'm not playing the beta version of Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. I didn't play the beta at all. I'm playing the retail version that I purchased. So the actual false DMCA takedown against my Twitch channel isn't even for the right game. It's the wrong game. And Twitch still greenlit it and put it through without even verifying that I was playing that game. They just greenlit it and stamped it and pushed it through and suspended my channel. Okay?
We didn't get any empty threats to Superhound, no demands for Twitch to apologize. There wasn't really any of that. Now this is where the detractor community started speculating about the situation, and the tinfoil hat started to come on. It was theorized that Phil was actually working with Superhound to get his Twitch account taken down with false DMCA, and that way, Phil can set up an emergency YouTube live stream and get absolutely flooded with a whole bunch of pity donations, something that actually did end up happening.
Dark Viking 159 tipped me $150. Thank you, Dark Viking. Let me get him right up on the leaderboard, and then I'll read you his message here.
And of course, his Twitch account was reinstated right after this stream, which made that theory a bit more plausible. So in order to combat all these chargebacks, DSP got the great idea to ask his fans to put in all of their real information so that he can confirm whether it was them that actually tipped him or not.
Now, after doing the research, I found out that, for me anyway, the way to basically protect myself from this chargeback fraud is to actually have people who are going to tip me need an actual registered PayPal account, okay? That means they would have to actually put in their real name, their address information, their email address, and yes, in some cases, I believe, actually having to link like a bank account to it, having a real PayPal account, not some phantom checkout account, right? That's completely full of shit. So, if that happens, if someone actually contributes to my streams via that kind of a PayPal account, I get qualified for what's called seller protection. Now, am I selling anything on my streams? No. As you guys know, my streams are absolutely free for you to watch, and no one's required to contribute whatsoever to my streams. However, PayPal is still under the impression, I know this is incredibly outdated and stupid, but PayPal is still under the impression that people who use the site are buying things on eBay. I know that sounds dumb, because it is, but PayPal still thinks everyone's buying and selling crap on eBay, which they're not. eBay is very outdated. And at this point, I rarely even know anyone who trusts eBay because of all the stupid fraud and shit that happens over there. So, because of that, they think that every single transaction is a purchase, which it's not. And they qualify me for seller protection as if I'm selling an item if people actually tip me with a registered PayPal account. What this means is after the fact, as long as I can provide legitimate info that, okay, this person tipped me here, here's what they said, this is legit, this isn't someone, it didn't happen, it's not like I'm lying about it, here it is, then I will actually keep the money.
Now I shouldn't have to mention why this is such a scummy thing they do to your audience. I have never seen any other streamer force their viewers to make an account or give up their personal information just to send a donation. That's just something that's not required. Plus, this is Phil we're talking about, and he will be the last person on earth that I would ever trust with my personal information.
He's not gonna tell us.
Oh, by the way, I have your IP, I have your name, and I have your address.
Oh, you...
Now here's another pretty minor story, but one I thought was funny enough to mention. On October 7, Xbox made a tweet responding to a fan that was joking about the multiple excuses gamers make when they fail at video games, and mentioned DSP is the poster boy for all of those mentioned. This just goes to show how much Phil's so-called legacy is worth to the gaming community. Now that he was name dropped by the official Twitter account of a popular gaming console, DSP started huffing on that copium. Responding to the tweet by trying to play in on the joke, DSP then went on a pre-stream a day after this tweet and claimed that the tweet was harmless and it was just Xbox poking fun at him.
About 3 days ago, the official Xbox Twitter account put out a tweet, and it was saying basically something like the motto to live by when you're playing FPS games is like, if you don't succeed, pick yourself up and die again. That's what they posted. So actually a spin on Aaliyah's song, dust yourself off and try again, right? So someone responded to that with a tweet, and they said, if at first you don't succeed, blame it on lag, scream at the game developers, say your controller's broken, blame it on blame it on on your relatives distracting you, all this funny stuff. And then Xbox responded to that tweet and said, "Okay, DSP." Now, I didn't know they had done that. And I read it. Someone actually linked me to it this morning. And I actually laughed. I thought it was funny. I was like, that's hilarious. But here's the difference, because it's funny. Some people in the stream chat this morning were like, was Xbox slandering you? Like, no. No, they're not slandering me. All right? Here's the difference between slander and taking a very, very harmless jab at someone, It's basically laughing with someone versus making fun of someone in a very harmful way. All those things, I basically say. Like, literally everything that guy said, and I don't think he was trying to reference me in his tweet to Xbox. I think he was just saying, in general, gamers who make excuses. But I make all those excuses. That's kind of one of my running shticks over the years, is that I always kind of blame stuff on everything but me, right? Now, recently, if you haven't noticed, a little different, especially with Crash Bandicoot 4, I will actively tell you every time I die, I suck ass. Like, I'm so bad at these platformers. I'm just dying constantly. And it's my fault. I suck. I'm rusty. I haven't played these in a million years. And I'm getting older. My reactions are getting slower. I suck. But it's funny to watch me play Crash 4 because I die so much, right? But outside of Crash 4, I pretty much every other game I blame on everything else, right? So that's kind of my thing. Everyone knows me. For 12 years I've been doing it. You would think people know me. And apparently whoever the person is running the Xbox social media account knows who I am and made this reference. It's a lighthearted joke. It's a silly jab. It's a harmless dunk. I thought it was actually really funny. So I actually tweeted it this morning. I didn't know this. It was 3 days ago when they had tweeted that. And I guess it had gotten like maybe a few hundred likes or whatever. I'm shocked no one told me about this earlier. Usually whenever someone mentions me on the internet, there's 1,000 people who tell me, "Oh my God, did you hear what this guy said about you? Phil, how do you respond to that? What do you think? Is there drama? Is there drama? Do you have beef? It's like, Jesus, just relax. I'm 38 years old. I don't give two shits about this. Every day someone's out there saying something about me of various levels of just being silly versus, actually malicious. And I don't really care. I laugh about it 9 times out of 10, unless it's actually something harmful to myself or my family. Why the fuck would I care what people say about me, right? I actually think this is funny. I do. I legitimately think this tweet was a good one. That was a good jab. That was a funny reference. And it's funny that people who run the official Xbox account even know who I am. You would think Phil's just a small-time streamer. Why would they know who I am? People know who I am because I've been around for 12 years. I've been involved with some of the biggest memes on the internet. People know who I am.
But let's not forget that this was the same nigga who waited 3 years to dunk on Pro Jerry when he was at his lowest, just for making a tweet that was basically just as harmless as the one Xbox made. It was clear to see that DSP was only holding back because this time, it was a large corporation that was behind the tweet with a massive fan base. And Phil pretty much knows that trying to start a petty internet fight with Xbox is only going to end up with him losing in the outcome, especially with his reputation on the internet. But I guarantee you, if this was someone like Ninja or Dr. Disrespect who made this tweet, we would never hear the end of it. On October 22nd, DSP put out this tweet showing a box of rocks. He made a post stating that this was supposed to be his early review copy of the PS5, but this was all that he got. This was supposed to be poking fun at the streamers and content creators who had already received the early review copy of the PS5. But really it came off like he was just jealous about the fact that he wasn't famous or respected enough to be sent a copy of the console. DSP then later went on a pre-stream to explain the meaning behind this tweet and put out a few more passive-aggressive statements regarding the matter.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this morning I received my official review copy, advanced early copy, of the Sony Box of Rocks. The Sony Box of Rocks finally arrived, and when I opened it, oh my God. Let me tell you, first of all, the malachite, it snaps. The jade, oh, it's finely polished. There's some, some coarse minerals in there, but also some really nicely, smooth ones. They really went all out in this, and I just cannot wait over the next couple of weeks to be sharing my experiences with all of you here on a daily basis on stream. Okay? Obviously this is a really stretched out bad joke, but no joke. lots of people are getting their early review consoles of the PlayStation 5 today or over the next few days. I'm aware of it because, number one, I follow gaming trends, and every major media outlet is posting up about it. IGN, Games Radar, Jeff Keighley, all got their PS5s, and they're all under NDAs, which means they can't say anything about it at all. All they could do is literally show you the box and do things with the box. They can't even show you inside the box. They're actually prevented from doing that because of the non-disclosure agreement. Apparently the way it works is they were sent detailed instructions. Okay. On this day, you can do this with your PlayStation 5. On this day, you can do this with your PlayStation 5. And it's like every day, only a little bit more, only a little bit more. They're very limited with what they can do, which is really silly. You know what I mean? I mean, that's ridiculous. And for the record, no, I did not receive a console. I'm never going to. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know too much about me. Okay, I've been a content creator on the internet for 12 years. In those 12 years, arguably, the first 6 to 7 years of me being a content creator, I was a very offensive persona. If you're not aware, I basically went out of my way to kind of be extreme risque. My commentary was not very acceptable to the masses. A lot of pretty immature things that I said and did back in the day for shock factor value to retain an audience on YouTube. Okay? That's not exactly the most appealing attitude to have to a game developer or a console manufacturer, right? In addition, let's be honest here. I'm a very outspoken person, even in the modern day. I will tell you my honest opinions on anything that I play. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and I'm certainly not going to kiss ass. In addition to that, I'm a very outspoken critic of the games industry when it comes to games journalism, when it comes to these marketing practices of giving out special early advanced access to games and consoles to a select few. That in most cases, I actually feel that it's completely disingenuous to do that and that it's actually ruining the industry. Okay? Just being honest. When you have streamers who are given advanced access to a game 2-3 weeks early, they're the only people allowed to play the game. They can get full streams and playthroughs of the game up early. By the way, they're not allowed to criticize the game because they're being told they're under review embargo. You cannot criticize the game. You can only play it. When these gamers, supposed gamers, become paid shills for these companies, and they completely spoil the game experience and basically become paid advertisements, ruining the game for the rest of everyone, and basically making that game now, you know, look better than it really is, just for the sake of making a buck. Yeah, I don't agree with it. I've only talked about it a million times. I'm completely anti that. Guess what? These game companies are totally for that. They want marketing. They want advertisement. They want golden content creators and streamers who they hand select to kiss their ass and to make their games look better than they are so that people will go buy them. All right? I'm not a part of that industry. I never will be. I'll always be an outspoken critic of it. Therefore, I'll always be indie. I'll always be independent. I will never have financial backing from one of these companies. I will never have sponsorship from these companies. You will never see me get a console early. You will never see me get a freebie. It's very rare, even when a company chooses to do anything in regards to a partnership with me or a sponsorship with me. All right? And there's good reason for that.
And it kills me when he tries to pretend like he's this down-to-earth guy just like everyone else. It's this fake personification that he puts on himself that makes him seem better in the public eye, but we can all see right through it. Phil, normal people don't sit on their ass all day playing video games and begging literal mentally handicapped people for their donations. Normal people don't spend 50 grand on a mobile game and own 14 credit cards getting themselves into major debt. Normal people don't shower once a week or declaw their cat. But I guess in Phil's fantasy world, who he is and what he does is perfectly normal, and he can relate to everyone else's hardships. And it's for reasons like this that makes him look so disingenuous. Alright guys, that would do it for this installment of A Beggar's Journey. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to apologize once again for how long it took for this video to come out. I know some of you guys don't mind, but 3 months is just inexcusable on my part. Don't forget to check out the second channel since I should have some videos coming to it pretty soon. Alright guys, I'll see you again in the next installment to this series, which should hopefully not take as long as this one did. Alright brothers, peace.
Golly, what the fuck is racism, y'all?